I've been using the Shimoda Designs Explore version 2 bag for about 6 months now. Today we're going to take a quick look at some of its features as well as what I think about it after having carried it for 6 months. So Shimoda Designs makes 3 different sizes of this bag. They have a 25 liter at the smallest, a 30 liter at the middle, and a 35 liter, which is what this is, at the largest size. When I was picking out bags, I chose a 35 liter largely because of this YouTube channel. I needed to carry along extra gear that I might normally carry. So a lot of times I'll head out in the field with 2 tripods. I'll have my normal landscape photography gear plus video recording equipment and sometimes a drone. So I needed a bag that was reasonably sized, and so I opted for the larger 35 liter bag. Let's jump into some of the features. And then at the end, we'll review what I think about it, what it's been like to carry it for 6 months. Okay, first up, especially when you're working with a larger bag, the comfort of carry and how all of that works is very important, especially for landscape photographers, because we tend to use our bags a lot more than just load up the car, carry it into a studio, or carry it into a client site. We're out there often hiking multiple miles, sometimes in rugged conditions, so you want a bag that fits to your back, is comfortable to carry, and lets you take what you need out there. So let's take a look at the harness system, because that is an important part of this bag. So what we've got is we've got shoulder straps like this, and they are contoured shoulder straps with a little bit of curve in them and thin right over the shoulder. These are super comfortable shoulder straps. I've done a lot of backpacking in my past, and I would certainly say these shoulder straps are very high quality, super comfortable. The contour is nice. They got a little bit of air mesh on the back just to give them a little bit of breathability. Another nice feature is several spots to hook things to, either through the webbing or the plastic grommets. I have my Garmin InReach Mini 2 right here that I keep attached to my bag. Over here on this side, we do have pockets. This currently has my Leatherman in it, but it can also carry a phone. It's a great pocket if you want to keep your phone close by. If you do a lot of video work and recording, there is a spot to attach a mic if you want to run a mic inside for some reason, if you're a YouTuber or someone doing a lot of video content while you're out doing landscape photography. Over on this side, there is another pouch. This one is expandable and it opens up and you can actually fit in a water bottle here. So while the bag does have water bottle pockets on the side, or it has an expandable pocket that you can put one as well, which is a pretty nice feature. When it's not in use, just fold it over, zip it up, and it stays nice and compact. So shoulder straps are great, love it. So the bag is adjustable. It has adjustments for small, medium, large, depending on your torso length. The back is padded and has mesh and air channels to help keep you cool when it's hot out. And these channels help keep you cool. And like I said, a little mesh back for that. It has an actual real waist belt, which is important. A lot of photography bags, they have a token waist belt, which is fine because usually you're not carrying them long distances. But again, with a landscape photography, you tend to carry them much further. Little pockets on the side. It's padded, also has the air weaving. For times it's a smaller trip, or maybe when you're traveling, you don't want this flopping around everywhere. It is removable. Loosen the Velcro here, pull the strap out, and you're good to go. Very comfortable carrying system. Like I said, I tend to carry anywhere from 1 to 2 landscape bodies, mirrorless bodies, usually about 3 lenses, my video camera, 2 tripods, water, and some gear, and I've never had a discomfort problem. It does have a chest strap as well, which is adjustable up or down, depending on where you need it. And finally, something I think plays into allowing this shoulder straps and waist belt to work well is it does have a rigid frame. As you can see, this is its height. It doesn't compress down. It's got, I believe it's an aluminum rigid frame, and that rigid frame helps just balance the load, keep things good, so you're not having soft material twist, turn, and put unusual load forces on you. This rigid frame gives these things a way to distribute the weight and carry the weight. So when you tighten these straps and adjust them, they're working with the frame to give you a comfortable carry. Okay, and before we move on, just one more note about the shoulder straps. There is actually a whistle built into this buckle, which can be pretty cool if you find yourself out in a situation where you need to draw some attention to yourself. There is a whistle built in here. I don't think it's the loudest whistle, but when you're in a pinch, it'll make do. So I'm talking about the comfort of being able to carry a load. The next important thing for a landscape photography bag is the type of material and what it's made of and some of the features regarding that. When you're out there, you know, doing landscape photography, a lot of times you're out there in inclement weather where it's not the greatest, and there's gonna be moisture, snow, rain, or anything like that. So you wanna know your gear is protected and safe in there. So this bag is made of a nylon ripstop material, water resistant, not necessarily waterproof, but it is water resistant. The zippers that are exposed have sort of a coating on them to help improve the water resistance to them, which is great. There are, in case water gets into the bag or anything like that for some reason, there are little drain holes down at the bottom. So when the bag's up like this, the compartments can drain out, which is handy if you find yourself in a super downpour. Some moisture might get in and you want that to be able to get out of the bag. Those little drain pieces take care of that for you. The bag does come with a rain cover for those times when it's a torrential rain. You're not gonna be needing access to your camera gear and you're more concerned about keeping it dry. I keep mine in the back compartment underneath the ICU unit here. Here's the ICU unit. I keep mine tucked away right in here, and it opens up and it goes over top of the bag like so. A complete cover for your camera bag to keep it safe. So the bag has great quality zippers. They use YKK zippers all around. They have leather pull tabs on them, so they're easy to find, easy to grab. Most of the pockets have 2 zippers. Some, like this front pocket, only have 1. They're high quality zippers. These have all worked great. Several of the zippers on the side that would be exposed, not towards your back, have the ability to lock them, the ability to slide the lock through there if you want, just for some added protection in case you're worried about someone opening your bag while it's on your back if you happen to be in a more crowded area. And finally, let's talk about the handles on this bag, which is pretty cool. What we have here is there's this side handle, which is super handy because you can pick up the bag from the side like that, and it works if you're flying with it and you have one of those rolly bags with the handles. You can slip the handle through this and you can reduce your load, not to carry as much on your back. You can take advantage of the wheels on the rolling luggage. Slip this on, it's nice and secure, super handy. Didn't realize how nice it was to have an extra grab point for a bag instead of being limited to just like the top. Super handy from that standpoint. Of course, it has the regular top handle like you would expect. Also has a bottom handle down here at the bottom, which is super handy. If you've slid it into an overhead cargo or some other storage area and you need to grab it, you've got 3 points to grab this bag. The other thing that's handy about this particular one is this is a back access camera bag. So when it's open, get the bag open like this. And if you're photographing and you move, 30, 40 feet away, you reset up your tripod and you need to come back to your bag and grab something, a lot of times with other bags, you'd have to close the lid, zip it all back up and move it. With this, with the base handle and top handle, you can just pick it up like this and move it without having to close the bag. Again, this is one of those things that when you're out shopping for bags, you might not think about it and that might not be a feature you're looking for, but now that I've had it, it's amazing. It's just so convenient to be able to move the bag, and like I said, when it's all sealed up, to be able to grab it from almost any which direction and carry it. Super handy to have those extra handles, so very well thought out on that point. So we talked about comfort to carry, some of the quality features of the bag. Let's talk about how you store your camera gear. The main camera compartment is a rear access bag, which I like. It lets you, when you put this down in the dirt, you're not putting what was in the dirt up against your body, which is super cool. Nice sturdy flap, opens up. It does have a laptop sleeve. I can carry a 15-inch MacBook Pro in here. From other videos I've watched, people have been able to fit in a MacBook Pro 16-inch, though it takes just a little bit of finagling to get it fit in here. From what I've seen, that wouldn't bother me at all. Most time I'm not taking a laptop out in the field. It's just when I'm going from place to place, like traveling, airline, anything like that. I don't find that a big deal. The 15-inch MacBook Pro fits in here just fine. Nice little sleeve here, accessible from the back, or I'll show you in a minute, there's a way to access it from the top as well, in case you happen to be on an airplane and you don't want to have to open your whole bag to get to your laptop. There's a way to get to it from the top. Inside, Shimoda Designs uses ICU camera cubes. I have a medium cube in here, the mirrorless version, and a small cube. So they sell a small, medium, and large. A large is about the size of this medium and small put together. I went with a medium and the small because it gives me some flexibility and versatility. I always have the medium in here because it'll carry my camera body, 3 lenses. These are all mirrorless lenses, so I got a 24 to 200, 24 to 70, and a 14 to 30 in here. Carries a camera body. I have room for another camera body if I move some of this stuff out. When it's just short little outings like this, I don't have all this stuff moved, so this is holding like my filters. It's not super well organized. Plenty of room. I could be better organized and fit more in here. This is the spot where my video camera slides into. There's my mic set. And then up here, I vary between either carrying a drone or pulling it out and just using it as extra storage, extra space to have a little bit more volume in the bag that's flex space. Right now I put it in just for the sake of this video. It pulls out real easy. Right now it's got a first aid kit, a mini tripod in it, and things like that. Oh, and a cleaning kit as well, because you can go from small, medium, to large. So yeah, super flexible. Let's go ahead and pull this top one out and show you how easy it is. And just, that's a small ICU cube. It's got these dividers like this that you can move, rearrange. What I like about these dividers is they're not overly bulky, which I think lets you carry more stuff in it as opposed to losing lots of volume to bulk and padding, but it still feels very protective. So that's the small cube. This is probably how I carry it most of the time. Just the medium cube in here. That gives me lots of free space, open space up here. I tuck in small things here. The cube does have like a carrying case comes with it. It's slid in down here. My rain cover's tucked in down here. So yeah, it's very versatile as far as that goes. The ICU system's great, and they remove real easy. They fit fit in because of this rigid frame. They don't need a lot of Velcro, so it's not a pain to take in or out, and pretty flexible. Now, some people like side access to a bag. I'm not a huge side access fan, but this does have the ability to do it. My cube is not currently set up in a great fashion to that, but let me show you how it works. Is we zip this up here on the side. We've got this side pouch, opens up like this. So you got side pouch right here. It does have a pocket in it if you're not using it for side access. And then the ICU has a zipper. Opens it up just like that. This tucks into here, so now you can open it like this. Again, mine is not set up for this. This is my filter side, my battery side. But if you like side access, this bag does have the ability to do it. Again, adding to its versatility. Pretty handy if you're into that. I'm not a big side access person. I tend to get to where I'm going, put my bag down, and have access. I'm not doing a lot of on the go. For me, I can just use this as an extra storage spot. Well padded. And on the other side, also has side pockets. This is where you can keep your filters if you want, anything like that. And there are pockets here. I keep a set of filter wrenches in there. If you think about it, when this bag is oriented down, you've opened it up to get into, this flap will pull up, and super easy access to your filters if you wanted to do that. And the bags are oriented so they're up. So when you access them, it's not like things are gonna fall into the dirt. Pretty handy. I just keep my filter wrenches in there. I tend to keep my filters in a pouch inside the bag, but that's an option that's there if you need it. You can use it for snacks and things like that too. And one of the big things I look for is being able to carry water into the field. I feel like landscape photographers, we get overlooked for ability to carry water into the field with your bag. I've had bags that were like minimal on water pockets and just not enough. So that's important. And then how do I get my tripod into the field? And for me, I tend to carry 2 tripods in the field, one for my landscape photography and one for my video. So I really needed some flexibility on water and tripod carrying. So that was one of the features that drew me to this bag. First, there's pockets on either side that right now I haven't tucked away, so it's nice and sleek and they're not catching anything. Most of the time, I have this pocket pulled out, and I can either put in one of the big Nalgene water bottles, which fits great. I've put thermoses of coffee in here, and in tripods, you can slide those into here as well. Slide the legs in here. It's got a strap to help secure it here, and straps to help here. So it's super easy to carry tripod there. This side has the same thing. Open this little compartment, pull this out, and ta-da, you got that. Let me grab a tripod real quick and show you what it looks like with a tripod in there. So is my FLM tripod I carry most often. I can just slide the legs in there, grab this strap, and run it through this hole in the bottom, which I'm not doing now, but you can. And there's this strap here, run this around, boom, tripod fits on there. Never had any problems with it. I frequently carry, like I said, 2 tripods on here, 1 on either side. Both have been fine. And remember, you've also got a water bottle pocket here on the front for a smaller water bottle. So I can go with a water bottle and tripod, 2 tripods, 2 tripods, and a small water bottle. Again, the flexibility is what's key to me. It worked out super well, and it was one of the things that attracted me to the bag. Okay, and we're not done with storage options yet. At the top of the bag, there are a couple compartments. You have this top compartment, which is, this is the ICU right there. This gray piece is the ICU. This is where you can get access to your laptop from the top. If it was inconvenient to open the full bag and you wanted access to a laptop, slide that in there. This room, if I have the other ICU in there, of course, I lose some space, I lose some volume because it's in here. So that is one thing to keep in mind, is as you're putting ICUs in or out, you are adjusting how much space you have in at the top of this bag. There is a document, Shimoda calls this a document pouch, which is accessible from the bottom when the back is open, or from the top. You could put a book, a trail guide, a field guide, a notebook, anything you want in there. If you wanted, like I said, zippered on both sides. That is pretty cool. That's the one compartment, primarily for laptop access. Next compartment is this. This one's a little weird. It is essentially just a bag with zippered compartments, just to give you a little bit of organization in this top part. It too is flexible. If you have a large ICU or medium and small in here, you do lose some of this space. It starts to come up. And that's one reason why I tend to just go with the medium ICU, because I feel like I have more flex space. But it's got zippered pockets, snacks, things like that. I got some business cards and a clean cloth, more room for snacks or memory cards or anything like that you wanted to put up here. If you decided you didn't like this bag approach and you just wanted more access to this section, this will actually zipper out and zipper completely out, and you can take it out of the bag. I tend to leave it in, and like I said, I tend to go with the medium ICU as opposed to medium and small, just because I feel like it gives me more flexibility for clothing and those changing items that I may or may not carry. So that's that part of the bag. Okay, so that's been the top access. This part has a little bit of the sack access with the extra storage options. Then we've got 2 more on the front here. We've got this guy right here, double zippered. Open it up. It's got 2 small pockets up here. You can see those. two small pockets up here. I have a cleaning cloth in here. You could put snacks, again, memory cards, anything like that. Great spot for those. It also allows full access. This runs down the whole rest of the bag, so arm goes all in with a small divider here. Another spot to put it all in. Got an old mask from COVID times and slide that in there. I find I'll stuff like a rain jacket in here because it'll slide all the way down nice and soft, so it's real packable and squishable. This part of the bag works good for there. When you put your hand in here, you are touching the bottom eye. There's material between it, but it's the bottom of the ICU just to give you some perspective. Nice little flex space. These help keep things from falling down too far. And finally, this bag right here, this little pouch, you could put all sorts of little things in here, trail maps, snacks, anything like that. I tend to carry my notebook in here, just slide it in here. So really just a ton of storage options on this bag. I am still 6 months into it, still sort of learning my ideal packing system, how I want to put things where everything goes, but I've never felt limited to not having flexibility. So the flexibility of the storage options, the accessory pack, the accessory strap. I carry a lot of gear into the field because of the videoing, and it just works out really well for me. So that's just sort of a quick overview of some of the features of the bag in case you hadn't seen it before. There are other videos out there that go more in depth. I highly recommend checking out Shimoda Designs YouTube channel. They've got some great videos done about the various features, how it's used, how he uses the bag. Super informative and goes a little more in depth. But I wanted you to have a quick overview of some of the features in case you're considering this bag before I dove into my thoughts. So like I said, I bought this bag a little over 6 months ago, mainly because I was starting the YouTube channel. I needed to carry more gear into the field, and the bags I currently had weren't really working capacity-wise and things like that. So flying with this bag in the US is not a big deal. It will not fit underneath the seat. This rigid frame makes it very difficult to get in there and be pushing it to try to fit it under there. I've flown with other bags that do, and it is sort of a nice feature to be able to slide it underneath that seat because your concerns of them forcing you to check it start to diminish. It does fit in the overheads, no problem at all. I didn't have any problem with the airlines asked me about size, and I had a tripod strapped to it, and it was pretty big and bulky when I went. I didn't have any problems, and it did, even with the tripod attached, fit into the overhead with no problem. So I've flown with it to the southwestern US. Perfect trip, carried everything I needed. I had camera bodies, lenses, drone, tripod, all went well. So if you've been following along with my videos, you've seen I've taken this into all sorts of conditions, from the desert to snowy weather, a full day of snow, kept all my gear nice, safe, and protected. I've had it out in rain, light drizzle, no problems. Everything stayed dry. Didn't even need to use the big rain cover. I wasn't out in a downpour, but for light, drizzly rain, it was no problem. And I've had it out in icy conditions where I was strapping ice cleats to the bag so that I could have them for my feet when I needed them. Super versatile in what I was able to carry and keeping my gear safe. So it worked great from that perspective, no problems. Like I said, it's carrying a ton of gear for me. I can carry 2 camera bodies in here, 3 lenses. I tend to carry a drone. It's a Mavic 2 Pro, so it's a little bit on the large side by today's standards, but I'm able to fit it in here. For the drone, I've tried carrying it in both like the ICU, like this, which works. That's how I went to the Southwest, was with this in it. But I've also put some individual hard cases for that drone. It gives me a little bit more flexibility in how to use the space up here. And so far, I am finding I sort of prefer the medium ICU so that I have flexibility up here on how to carry what because these things change. It could be my drone, it could be a larger jacket, it could be anything like that. Having that flex space, I think, helps me. All the side pockets, it's able to carry 2 tripods for me, which is important. I still have room for water, plenty of attachment points for, things like my inReach. I carry a Leatherman in here. It could carry my phone. I could put my mic in here. Super flexible, plenty of ways to attach things. Add in the accessory straps on top of that, and there's even more ways to carry things in the bag. So super flexible. Love the storage capacity. Like I said, this is the 35 liter, so it is the larger one. And I think maybe if I didn't do the YouTube and the video and need all that equipment as well, a 30 liter might have worked, which it would be a nice small carry as well. So my only real complaint about the bag is so much of the space is shared with the ICU. That's where the bag gets its flexibility from. But if you're not paying attention, that can also be a con. So you open up this section, it's where you're supposed to get access to your laptop. Like I said, when I stick my drones up here, they might be sitting in here and I can grab them from the top. But if you're not careful with how you pack, small things can slip down behind the ICU and you lose them. Like I used to keep my filter wrenches in this area, and I'd wonder, where'd my filter wrenches go? And it's because they'd slipped behind the ICU. It's me sort of a pain. Smaller things like that, filter, like if you had just had a filter, it could slip down behind there, cleaning cloths. So I'm sort of used to being able to sort of randomly throw stuff in a bag. And in this case, you sort of want to pack smart. Now the way around that is use some of the mesh compartments that are already in the bag. Use a tech gadget bag to put in here so your smaller stuff is in a bulkier form so it won't slip behind there. It's really been the biggest con I've had is that, and it's not substantial. It's more of a learning how to use the bag situation than anything. It just means I need to be a little more organized, use a slightly better packing strategy in order to keep things from slipping behind. You know, the pro to it is you get super flexible space because of how things can be accessed from multiple locations. That shared space is sort of that flex space that really can sort of help with that. So I call it a con as I grow and learn how to use the bag better. It's where it's getting its flexibility from. Just be aware that if you're keeping small things and not good at keeping them into zippered compartments and such. And finally, durability of the bag. I mean, we talked about some of its features, but I've carried this regularly for 6 months. You've seen my videos. It's almost always been the bag that goes out with me. Even when I'm not out photographing, this is the bag that carries my video equipment. So even like a situation like this, I'm not really out doing photography today, but this is the bag that brought all my stuff here. You know, 6 months in of extremely regular use in all sorts of conditions and such, and the bag's in great shape. All the zippers look great. All the zippers work fine. They smooth. There's no rips. The material's staying fine. I often set this down in wet dirt. Typically, I just need to brush it off or wipe it down and it gets clean again. All the straps are fine. I see nothing that's looking like it's starting, oh, that's starting to pull. So durability and quality is very high for this bag. This is 6 months in. We'll do another one of these in probably another 6 months, give a 1 year checkup on this bag. I don't see myself swapping it out because it just really works for what I want. But yeah, great build quality, super flexible, very quality bag. So at the end of the day, this bag has met every single expectation I had of it. It is super comfortable to carry. It has a high capacity to carry all the equipment I'm taking out into the field, the multiple tripods, the multiple cameras, the multiple lenses, the audio equipment for videos. It's been able to adapt and be flexible for all of that. It's been great for travel. Like I said, I've flown with it. It fits in a domestic flight, no problem at all. That's been great. Super easy to throw in the car. Super comfortable to carry. So that's a big one when you're carrying all this equipment for longer distances. It's been super comfortable between the shoulder straps and the waist belt. And like I said, super flexible. Because of all the stuff I carry, you just never know what you're carrying, allowing me to carry what I need to, where I put it, being able to strap things onto it. So really, this is a really well thought out, great camera bag from Shimoda Designs. So if you're in the market for a landscape photography bag, I highly recommend taking a look at the Shimoda Designs bags. Lots of features, very flexible. The quality seems great 6 months in. But yeah, great bag. Highly recommend you check them out. So if you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful, please hit that like button. And if you want to see future landscape photography content from me in the future, including tips, tricks, mini gear reviews like this, and some behind the scenes, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any content from me in the future. And thank you for watching.